Hey guys, thanks for joining me today. I'm Mark, this is Spiguyver Backpacking. Today we are out on the trail. It feels really good to be out here. It is a beautiful day. It's a little over 70 degrees and we're on the Appalachian Trail. We're in Harriman State Park up in New York and just getting out, stretching the legs a little bit. Gonna do an overnighter. I've got a hammock in the backpack. We're gonna go head down the trail, hit the William Bryan shelter area, see how we feel. Probably where we're gonna set up, just because this is the first time out with the shoulder not in a sling, with a backpack on it. And so far, things are feeling really good and I'm really happy. I'm about a mile in and yeah, things are feeling great. So we're just gonna keep going and show you guys what we see along the way. Let's go. As you can probably hear from the traffic, I'm coming up on a highway. So this is the area that a couple years ago when I was out here was actually closed. They didn't have people going across here because they thought that the road crossing was too dangerous. This crosses the Palisades Highway here in New York, and you know, speed limit's only 55, but people are definitely going faster than that. It's up in the hills, kind of winds around. People like to come out here with the sports cars, sports bikes, as you can hear. But we're gonna go ahead and cross, play a little Frogger. Hope we get to the other side without going squish. So it looks like the AT is still rerouted in this area. So I just came from that way. You know, they've got it kind of blocked off so that you don't go that way if you're coming from the south to the north. I'm going north to south right now, so I'm headed south on the AT. But it actually turns here and goes up 1779 and then crosses a bridge rather than crossing. So, you know, that's why it's saying it is rerouted, but I guess that's still in effect. And so what it does is, instead of being here and coming across and picking the AT back up right here, you now come up, go across this bridge, up and then down. But I will say this area, this trail right here with all the stars on it, all those stars are overlooks, and that trail right there is extremely scenic. Very nice trail. So it's not a bad thing that they've rerouted it. It adds quite a bit of distance, bringing it up and around. It's probably, I don't know, 5+ miles out of the way, I think, somewhere in that neighborhood, I would say. So just so you know. It's so nice that once we came up over that ridge back there, the sounds from the road completely gone away. Now it's just peaceful up here. Being that this park is only about an hour from New York City, it is a very highly trafficked park. But you get a little bit off the beaten path, get out there, and you can find yourself some really good solitude. There's lots of trails. There's 270 miles of trails in this park. So you can really get out there, get yourself into some secluded areas and really enjoy nature. It's pretty awesome. It's a little bit hazy, but if you look straight in the middle of this shot, there is the New York City skyline. But like I said, it is very hazy. You know, it is always a very, very humbling experience when you come around the corner on a trail and somebody looks at you, gives you kind of an odd look and says, hey, I know you. I haven't been on the trail much in the last year or so, really since I had rhabdo. Haven't done a lot. And to get out here, and the first day I'm back on the trail, within 2 hours of hitting the trail, have somebody recognize me. It's a crazy experience. I enjoy it though. I enjoy meeting people that watch and enjoy what I'm doing out here. So very, very cool. So if you guys see me on the trail, think you recognize me, stop me, say hi. Alright, so here is my camp for the night. I've got fire pit over here, which I won't use. I've got my chair, backpack over there against the log, and then I've got the banyan. So I've got the banyan with the winter top cover on it. While it is like 70 plus right now, it is going to get down to probably right in the upper 30s tonight. So gotta make sure I stay warm there. I've got my UGQ winter tarp up there with the doors on it, and I've got a 30-degree Local Libre underquilt, the Ridge Reaper that goes on here, and my 20-degree UGQ top quilt that I'll be using on here. So pretty good setup, and felt good today. Felt really good. Shoulder isn't bothering me at all. We'll see how it works in here. Now I did go with a bridge hammock, but this is one of my smaller bridge hammocks. It's not as wide as my luxury UL, and so I will have a little bit more squeeze in the shoulder just to see how that works out. And maybe on the next trip I will take a gathered end and see how that works out. Sitting here, got to feeling a little bit hungry, so I've got one of my favorite trail meals, at least for lunch. This is the Outdoor Pantry Thai style chicken soup. This one is extremely good. So I've got my 8 ounces of water in here. I'm gonna go ahead and just put it right into the windscreen. And I'm using a Puck alcohol stove for this weekend. Simple to use, work great, no fuss. So the wind has kicked up pretty good. It's actually a lull right now, but it had kicked up and was blowing the hammock all over the place. So I put the tarp out. I like having the bigger tarp, with the doors. And this UGQ one, although you can't see it on this side because I don't have them snapped up, it's got snaps all along the door, so it snaps fully shut, which is really nice. So I am a little bit concerned. I did buy, like I said, I bought new food yesterday because I've got a bunch of outdoor pantry stuff, but as you know, I haven't been out backpacking in a while. It's been a bit. So I wasn't sure if this stuff was still good, because it has been in my closet for a while. Other than it being hot and me spilling it on myself, it tastes delicious. While in Harriman State Park, you have to camp at the shelter areas. So I'm just, I don't know, a few hundred feet down the hill from the shelter. But downside to that is that very few of the shelters have water very close by. So you either have to go downhill this way or downhill on the other side of the shelter to get to water. I think I remember last time this was not as steep of a downhill and it wasn't as far to get to water. So I'm on an adventure to try and find some water, fill up the knock, and have some water for later. So you guys heard me mention my shoulder several times today. Reason being, for those of you who haven't been following along or are new to the channel, if you're new, welcome. I had a total shoulder replacement. So they went in, cut off the top of my arm bone, put in a metal ball, carved out the normal socket and put in, I don't know what it is, but a different material for a socket. And so 9 weeks ago I had that done, and you can see, I've got pretty good range of motion. Pain is pretty much all gone. Yes, I've got pain, just like I've got a 5-inch incision up front on my shoulder, like right between where my finger and thumb are, like right there. It goes across where they had to cut it open, cut through all the muscle to get to it and do what needed to be done. So 9 weeks out, I'm going to physical therapy a couple times a week, really working through it. But I had tried a couple of weeks ago putting the backpack on. I've got this Outdoor Vitals CS40 that I wanted to get out here, get some time on my back with it. And this weekend it's been really, really nice. I haven't got a ton of miles on the trail. I think I did between 3 and 5 today, probably closer to 5. But it was really nice. If you noticed, I also wasn't using trekking poles today. I just did not want that constant repetitive motion on this shoulder, and I didn't want to have any slips where I was catching myself with that and risking having anything happen. So I am still really taking it easy with this, and I had no problems with the backpack on my back, and that is a huge, huge win. So very happy about that. This backpack carried extremely well. It's a very comfortable backpack. Yes, it was only about 5 miles, but I can't imagine that I wouldn't feel it if it was not comfortable within 5 miles. I mean, that's a couple hours out on the trail going over some tough terrain. I definitely would have felt if this thing was uncomfortable. It felt really good. I was carrying a little more weight than I probably wanted to today. I was carrying quite a bit of water, just because I wasn't sure what the water situation was going to be. Turns out it's fine. And I went down the hill behind me, and didn't have to go nearly as far as I did last time I was here to get water. There was a spot that I had played around in the rocks, and I'd seen that there was a flow there at one point, but it was completely dry the last time I was here. I had to go further down and find a more reliable, bigger stream, but this worked out really, really well. All right, so I'm out here just tossing the disc around, trying to hit lines between trees and stuff, and I threw, and it bounced over here. My tarp is right here, so it bounced down this hill, and I see a cairn. It's between a couple of trees over there. So I walk over. There is a spring with flowing water right there. So 150, 200 feet behind my tarp, there's water. So if I run out of water, I definitely don't have to walk as far. So that is a big win. I like it. I like it. I love when things come together like that. Just an errant throw with the disc. Walk over there and hey, look what I found. I wouldn't have found it any other way. It's not marked. Never have I been up here and found water, so that's pretty cool. I'm just laying in the hammock now, doing a little bit of reading because it started raining. Not hard, but enough that I wasn't going to be sitting outside. So came in here, grabbed all my stuff, got it under here, and yeah, just reading. Not too bad. Doing good. Pretty comfortable. The shoulder isn't too bad, even though you can see, like, this is a bridge hammock, but it still does kind of roll your shoulders up. But no pain, at least laying here. We'll see how that goes through the night. Okay, a lull in the rain. It's actually stopped right now. Makes the perfect time to go out and make some dinner. I'm getting hungry again, and looking forward to some dinner. I've got some Peak Refuel beef stroganoff for dinner. It's a good one. It's not one of my favorite ones. They were out of the ones I really like, but that's okay. Nothing wrong with it. The Peak Refuel, those are really hearty, big meals, and they taste amazing. If you're still doing Mountain House, do yourself, do your stomach, do your taste buds a favor. Try these. Try the Peak Refuel. You won't regret it. They truly are. For off-the-shelf things that you can find pretty readily available, top of the line. I know I've probably shown these before, but while we're waiting on dinner, thought I'd come over and just kind of talk about these. So these poles I picked up not at this January's HangCon, but the year prior. I had gone down, I was at HangCon, and I went and talked with Dutch and picked these up. But these ones are really cool because they've got the pole that goes across, which, you know, folds up. It's a nice lightweight pole, but it's also got on the end these little locks, so you can twist these locks and then adjust how much pull you have on here. And so, you know, if you've got a wider tarp and these are stretched out a little bit, depending on where these pullouts are, you can actually make the adjustments so that you're getting the right amount of pull to pull it out. And you can see when you come out to the end and actually look, you know, it really does pull the tarp out quite substantially. And when you're running a bridge hammock like I'm running, it's really nice to have that a little bit wider. That way you can get in and out of your tarp, or in and out of your hammock, without it hitting the tarp. And it just gives you a little bit more space in there. So we'll let that sit. I actually had something happen today I haven't had happen before. I know other people have had it happen quite a bit, and it's actually the reason some people have moved away from it. But my Be-Free is not really flowing. So when I first put it on, I squeezed and nothing happened. I let it sit for about a half hour and I could get some drips. So first thing I did was just make sure I had enough for dinner. So I did that. And then I was able to, you know, mess around with it and get it to have like a trickle. So it wasn't just like drip, 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 but an actual little trickle so that I could fill my bottle. But I'm leaving it in the water. I actually filled up my pot, swished it around in there, hoping that it would free something up so that it could actually work a little better. But so far it has not gotten much better. Here's kind of a look at what it's doing. Maybe now it's been sitting for a little while. Yeah, that's actually better than what it was, but that's a lot of squeezing to get that. And when you're trying to do, you know, a full liter of water, it takes a while. It takes a while, and your hands get a little bit sore from squeezing. But oh well. Not a big problem. I mean, if that's the biggest problem I've got out here, I'm not doing too bad. I still have water. Worst case, I could boil some water. I've got plenty of fuel, so not a big deal. Another great thing about the tarp with these pullouts is that I'm able to pull my chair in here beside the hammock. I don't have the hammock pulled out of the way. Like, I've seen some people actually like pull their hammock out of the way. I mean, I could lean up against the hammock, but yeah, so I've got my chair in here so that I can do dinner because it is sprinkling again. And I really don't want to get wet. I'm glad I brought some warmer clothes because the temp has dropped. Wow, I'd forgotten how good that beef stroganoff actually is. So it's not quite fully reconstituted yet. Still just like that little bit of styrofoaminess in the meat, because there's lots of big chunks of beef in there. But the flavors, the creaminess, ooh, it's good. Had a couple of mushrooms in that first bite, and they were perfect. Just a couple more minutes, and it'll be ready. Oh man, that's good looking. Oh yeah. Just got up. It's a little after 7. Slept okay. Had, you know, it was off and on with the rain throughout the night, and so, you know, I'd fall asleep, then someone would wake me up. Tossed and turned a little bit, but For the most part, slept okay. I mean, I don't feel exhausted this morning. I think I got enough sleep. But just went outside to do the morning, relieve myself, and it's foggy. Actually, last night, probably about it was about 9 or 10. I decided I was gonna go hang my food at the bear cables, because they have bear cables at all these shelters, and it was so foggy that it was very disorienting. Like, it's only 500 feet or so from where I'm at, but I had to make sure I was following the trail, like, because there is a trail. If I had gotten off the trail, you could only see probably 15-20 feet in front of you. It's still foggy this morning. Let's go look outside. All right. Yeah, so as you can see, it's still foggy this morning, but not nearly what it was last night. So bear cables are up that way. Got this trail over here, and that's what I had to follow. Make sure that I was on that. And there are reflective marks on the trees along that trail, and that's what I was really having to follow. So I'm gonna walk up, get that, so I can start breakfast. So just to stay warm while I'm cooking over here, boiling water that I'll put in a bag. What I did was I took down the hammock inside of the tarp. It's kind of nice to be able to do that. Now I've got this nice area inside. Got the chair sitting in here, and I'll sit in here, blocked a little bit from the wind, and eat my breakfast in here. You can see that the wind it's moving. It's not like super bad, but it's enough that it bites. It's about 37, 38 degrees right now. It had gotten down to about 35 was what I saw last night. Nothing is frozen, so I know it didn't get that cold. I do have to do some more filtering of water, and that water bag is chilly. So hands are in the pocket, warming up, and yeah, we'll get to it. It's just a little slow this morning. All right, so the Be-Free is working a little bit better this morning. It's still, when I get home, it's going in the trash, and I'm gonna buy a new one just because it's not doing what it normally does. Breakfast. So I went with the biscuits and sausage gravy. Anyone who knows me knows I'm not a biscuits and gravy guy, but I had this one when I was out in Yosemite. It was one of the meals I picked up while I was out there, and out in the snow, stopped, had breakfast, a couple miles into my day, and it was absolutely delicious. Hit the spot, was exactly what I needed. And so I picked it up again. All right, let's see if this is rehydrated enough to eat at this point. Stir it up. It's got these huge biscuits in here. I'm gonna have to like break them up because they're definitely too much to eat right now. Still a little crunchy. I definitely haven't given it the full time to rehydrate, but tasty. for today, rather than just backtracking on the AT to where I came in, I'm gonna link up probably, I think it's four other trails in order to circle my way back to where I parked. So the shelter up there was right on the AT, and then I was just off of the yellow trail as I got to my camp. Like where my camp was, that trail right there was kind of the yellow trail. So there's like a four-way junction at the shelter. Continuing down the yellow trail, I will hit the Red Cross trail. From there I'll hit like Owl something road, which is just an old it's an old forest road, but it's so overgrown it's just a trail at this point. Then I believe I'll hit 1779 and then an unnamed trail. Unnamed, unmaintained trail, but I've been on it once before and I know that it's there. So as long as I can find it, it's on the topo maps, so not a big deal. But it's nice to get moving. Legs feel really good this morning. Surprise, you know, I have not been out in a while. The hills yesterday were a butt kicker. Yeah, I'm out of shape. So I need to get out, do a little bit more of this. I'm actually got some stuff planned for next weekend that you guys are gonna wanna check out. So if you haven't done so before, you might want to subscribe to the channel, hit that notification icon, click the bell so that you get notifications every time I put up a video, because there will be more stuff coming. I've got some surprises for next week. Probably stuff that will result in, I don't know, 2 to 4 different videos that'll be coming out over the next couple of weeks. So stay tuned. So coming downstream from the little rapids area up there, get to this spot here where there used to be a bridge that crossed. The bridge is swept up over there. There's stairs laying over there. You can see that this must have flooded pretty hard, pushed everything kind of down that way. So we're gonna go right over here. There's some rocks across, and we're just gonna hop across those rocks. Should be easy enough. Stay dry. A little bit muddy over here. No big deal. Easily across. You get up into some of the higher trails in this park and it's very rugged, very rocky. Some pretty treacherous areas, some really cool areas like Lemon Squeezer, but a lot of rocks, a lot of really cool formations. The trails that I've selected for this morning are more down here in these lowlands, in these more boggy areas. A lot of streams, a lot of water, more of a flat, relaxing hike this morning. We are back where we started for the weekend. Parking lot is right over there. So it is time to pack up and head out. But I wanted to kind of reflect on this weekend and talk to you guys about kind of my final thoughts. So it was great to finally get back out. It's only been 9 weeks since I had that shoulder replacement. And towards the end here, I was feeling a little bit of irritation in the shoulder, but nothing bad. I slept okay in the hammock. We're gonna progress, take it to the next step, and see if a gathered end will work. But it'll be at least next weekend, so another week of healing. I'll do physical therapy this week. I'll do all my exercises. I'll actually go home today, work on those exercises. My Outdoor Vitals CS40 pack carried like a dream. Super comfortable. I had no issues with it. No hot spots. It didn't pinch my hips, which is something that I've had, you know, other packs in the past do. You know, my ULA packs definitely used to pinch my hips really bad, leave me with bruises after every trip. This one carried extremely well, was very comfortable, spread out the weight really well, and I couldn't have been happier. You know, like I said, it was great to get out this weekend. I'm glad you guys came along, and I will see you guys down the trail.